Hi friends, welcome to Tassi Studio. I'm Tassi and today I'm here on a glorious October day to bring to you how I am reorganizing my yarn stash. I have done organizing and reorganizing on my yarn stash several times, and I have been successful sometimes, and sometimes the organization I choose has not really worked. This time I am going to come to you and show you not only my yarn organization, but what the yarn organization led to. It's going to be very hard for me to show you the mess that I made in my craft room in order to just reorganize my yarn stash. But I am going to try today to just show you how messy it is. A couple little parts that I have actually already organized, and then today I'm going to focus on how I organized and how I am organizing my yarn stash. So I want you to join me how I take the challenge of reorganizing my yarn stash, and let's see if this really works. Having a well-organized yarn stash can make a huge difference. And imagine being able to find the perfect shade of blue for your next project, or having all of your yarns recategorized and just really well organized by type. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, and most of us has trouble keeping our yarn organized. I myself have several times organized in a certain way, and then I later find out that I ended up making even a bigger mess. So it can be hard for you to be productive when you're trying to find a yarn and you can't find, and you keep looking for your favorite color and your favorite yarn, and then you can't find because you took and put in a different place, or you did not follow the plan or the system that you had. So I think this is a common problem, and one that it can lead to a lot of wasted time, wasted energy, and I myself feel frustrated about that sometimes. And so I know that I'm not alone on this struggle, and that I myself have lost count of how many hours I spent searching for a ball of yarn or for a needle. So I think that sometimes we give up and we decide to just use something else because I can't find what I was looking for. But before I dive into the solution with you, I want to tell you that I myself have tried several different ways of organizing. I have decided, and I have used baskets, bins, little cute yarn bins. I have displayed my yarn, but today I feel that I have sometimes used some systems that were expensive and that actually did not really work for me. Have you ever tried to organize your yarn by color systems, separating blues and greens from your neutrals, from your variegated or bright colors? Sometimes what I feel is that even if I have just by color, I will find some yarns that are I only have one or have a few, and I don't know what to do with them. Another approach that people have used is to organize your yarn by fiber type. You also can organize your yarns by weight, and this can be very helpful if you have different yarns with different textures or with different weights, but it can get kind of confusing quickly, and I have used this in the past and have not worked for me. Some people think that it's really helpful for them to have a one in, one out rule. Like when they buy a new yarn, then they either have to use a yarn or they have to give one yarn away. But I myself have to be honest with you that I cannot resist a good yarn sale. So I also don't want to get rid of some of my yarn that actually just have a sentimental value to me. Sometimes the yarn just reminds me a trip that we went on. I have a ball of yarn that I found once that it had my dad's last name, and I don't know if I'll ever use that yarn, but I don't want to get rid of that because it has sentimental value for me. So what do you think is the solution for this problem that we all have? I'm really excited to share with you a method that I found that has been very helpful and that I am very excited to try. And I have done just one box because I want to bring you with me and show you the process of what I do and how I do. So it's a very easy way of organizing, is very visual, and for me it's very effective. I have tried just with one color or one, I made one box to first try and see if I liked. And here I am going to share that process with you. The trick, and I will show you what I'm doing, is some people use pom-poms, some people, and I have just decided instead of that, because it takes so long to make little pom-poms, I make a card and I put a sample of the yarns in here and I write down which yarn they were, and then I put them in a box. I am where I put all of the yarns. I am going to show you how I do this. I am going to go around my craft room and show my craft room today, and then I'm going to show you the process of how I came up with this idea. I make this little card. I put the card with all the yarn that is inside in front of the box, and then I put all the yarn there with in that box organized by colors or by the projects that I am going to use that for. So I think that with this makes it super easy for you to find the yarn that you want to find, and I think that you can arrange the yarn by colors. That's what I did for myself, and you can just decide if you prefer and you don't want to do by color. You can also do by, as I mentioned before, by yarn type, like fiber type or by weight. I decided that for me, for now, I am going to do it by colors. And every year in the fall and the spring, I get that bug to want to organize things again. And this year, my craft room was not an exception. So without any further ado, let's go through my craft room. Please remember that only maybe half of it is organized. I will have another episode in which I will show the whole craft room and what I do and what I have here. And then this time I'm going to concentrate on showing you what I did to organize my yarn. Now please be aware that this is really a big mess and that I'm trying to be super real and show you exactly my process and how I do. And the way I do things, sometimes to organize or reorganize, it's one of those, instead of being the calm before the storm, is the storm before the calm and organization. So here we go. This is what it looks before. I am actually going to show you some pictures also of what my craft room looked on the side that is actually organized. Here's a picture, and then this is how it looks now that it's a little bit more organized. I like to keep a basket with some of the yarns that I'm going to either wind or that I'm going to or that I like to look, or that it's one of my favorites that I have been waiting to use, and I keep them in this little basket over here, so this way I can keep looking at them. I also have little balls of yarn that are tiny little leftovers, and I use these little jars, so it's really cute and reminds me of colors and things that I have used in the past. This is my cutting table. I really like to sew, and my sewing machine, and this is a sewing machine cover that my sister cross-stitched for me. That picture is a picture that my daughter painted for me, watercolor, and this is also a picture that my sister cross-stitched for me a few years ago. My sewing machine is here, and then with my sewing machine area, I put little I have several plants of lavender in my yard, and I put I've been making little sachets because I like to put lavender sachets on my yarn bags. And this is my side where I do my ironing, and I have my overlock machine, and this is my desk, and it's not very organized because I'm working on my stash right now, and my yarn stash is big, but it's also really messy. And this is the other side of the things that I'm still to organize, and it's not really, it hasn't been this way. It's just because as I took stuff out of that closet, I left them here on this side, and I'm organizing slowly. On this side, I'm going to put all the things on there on a shelf that is going to go over here, and here is where I have all the things that I do when I do my orders for my toolkits. So let's go here, and I am going to show you now how I've been reorganizing my yarn stash. I have my yarns on this shelf that I bought from IKEA, and I have had them organized in several different ways. but I always put them now on plastic bags. And I had organized before on like really good quality yarns. I had organized by stores or brands that I buy. I had organized by projects. I had organized by weight, by so many different ways. And right now, all I have is a big, huge mess because I have different things in different bins, and I can't really, every time I need a yarn, I can't find it, and I don't know where they're at. So after having this idea and learning about, so you can see here that before I had this as a sock yarn, and then I had mixed everything. So I had seen several different ways of organizing things, and I made these cards because I feel that if this organization works for me, then I'm going to have cuter cards in here and do this in a different, the card in a different way. But for now, doing it by hand has worked for me, at least for me to try and see how this is going to work. So on this bin, I'm going to have all the grays and blacks that I have. And what I do, I put my yarn all in a plastic bag, just because I know this is not the prettiest way of organizing, but for me it really works because I can feel the peace of mind that I know my yarn is not going to be affected by anything. And then I also use different I am also going to put like I said, a lavender sachet. I made these sachets a long time ago. My son had made this stamp, and I embroidered some of the flowers, and then it's filled with lavender, and all I have to do is just close this here, and I can just throw one of this in there. And sometimes if it's a yarn that it's more expensive or that I'm really attached to it or that I really love, I put one inside the bag also. So this one, for example, is the camellia fiber, and I put the color in here. And so I know now that when I'm looking for it, I just have to look out here, and I will remember that this is my camellia fiber yarn, and I bought a sweater quantity to make a cumulus tee for myself. Sometimes I change my mind and I decided to do something different, but that was the idea for when I bought that yarn. I also have the Les Garçons in here, and it's these two yarns, and it's a yarn that I just bought at the Flock in Seattle, and I put them over here. My hope and my idea when I bought was to make striped static shawl from Max Sear, and it's going to be for my husband, and of course I'm going to steal it from him, but that's what I'm hoping to make. And when I look now, when this box is over there with the other boxes, and I look at this card, I'm going to know that this yarn is over here when I'm looking for it. I also in this case there's more than one color in here, but it's because I am basically going to use this yarn, the gray, and it's going to go over here, and there's two of this, and I'm just using for a different project half of it, but there's two of this. So the color that I have the most, then I put on the box that is designated for that project. I'm making a scarf for my husband for his birthday. I have the pattern, so pretty much this is what I'm going to do. and I am going to do with every color that I have, and then I am going to put the cards over here in each one of them. And on my next and then I'm going to leave, my idea right now is to separate in 6 different colors, and then have one that is going to be for either mixed colors, like if I only have one of that specific color, or if it has the variegated yarns. And I'm also going to leave one. I like to leave one for yarns that I buy at Joann's, or sometimes I do buy at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, but it's mostly from Joann's. And I like to have just one box for those, because I don't really I usually make specific projects with those yarns, so I don't mix with my other nice more specific, nicer yarns. So this is how I am going to try to organize now. And in here it's going to be black, gray, and white yarn. And I also have a way to organize my leftovers. I bought this little organizer things that separates, and this is the leftover yarns that I have, and I separate them by color. So I put them on the little separation compartment here. So these are creams and tans, these are grays, these are all the pinks, these are yellows, browns, yellows and creams, and greens and blues. And in here also I also put the sachets with lavender, and sometimes, and these ones I leave them open without plastic bags. They were before all of them in these plastic bags like this, but I also could not find them, so I decided to put them on this organization system thing. And I have one for the fingering weight, and these are the ones that are a little bit thicker weight, and DK and worsted, and I'm going to put on another one of these bins, and then I put them inside my closet over there. So I think this is all that I wanted to show you today. As soon as I have them all organized and all of the colors in a card like this, and I have it there on my system, I will record again when my room is all organized, and then I will show you how it all ended up being, and how is the system working for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you're going to try this system whatever way you prefer to do, by color, by weight, by fiber content. And I hope that if this was helpful to you, that you hit the like button and the subscribe, this so I can bring more content like this to you. And I hope that you continue to knit, crochet, craft, and do whatever makes you happy. Until I see you again, ciao!